close your eyes for a moment and imagine that from the very day you were born, someone placed a contract in front of you, a silent contract, written in invisible letters. It dictated what you should believe, how you should live, what you should fear, and even how far you could go. You never read it, you never consciously signed it, and yet somehow it began to guide every choice, every thought, every emotion. The strangest part? Most people live their entire lives without ever realizing this contract exists. Maybe you've already felt this quiet uneasiness, that subtle sense of living under rules that aren't truly yours. Maybe in moments of silence, you've noticed something doesn't quite fit, that the life you see, touch, and feel may not be exactly what it appears to be. Science and spirituality, when they dare to look into each other's eyes, whisper something unsettling. Reality is not objective. It is not fixed. It bends. It is shaped by mental filters, inherited beliefs, selective perceptions, and invisible stories repeating inside us. So, what if all of this is nothing more than a stage play? A scenario designed to make you behave, choose, and feel in certain ways, not out of malice, but because humanity, without realizing it, has been perpetuating a game that began long before you were born. In this journey, we will walk through 7 layers of illusion, 7 invisible mechanisms that keep your consciousness asleep, and that must be seen clearly if you are to awaken. You will discover that the lie is not only what was told to you, but also what you repeat to yourself every single day. If something deep inside already knows that there is more, much more, than what you were taught, stay with me until the end, because from this moment on, each word is an invitation to see, maybe for the first time, the truth behind the curtain. And as we walk this path, share in the comments, what is the greatest lie about life that you have uncovered so far? Your story may be the spark that awakens someone else. 1. The invisible contract you never knew. You signed, you entered this world as an open field, a horizon with no borders. But even before you could speak, an invisible mold began to take shape around you. Rules, expectations, beliefs, all engraved in you like a silent code. Neuroscience explains, until around age 7, the prefrontal cortex is not fully developed. This means there are no critical filters, no way to question. Everything you heard, saw, or felt was absorbed directly, like seeds planted in fertile soil. Parents, teachers, society, they all passed along messages: who you are, what you deserve, what is possible, what is right or wrong. And you accepted it all, without even knowing you were accepting it. That mold eventually became what you now call identity, your normal life. But here lies the truth. Many of the choices you believe were yours were simply programmed responses to that first invisible contract. Think about it. The career you followed, the relationships you built, even the clothes you wear. Were they really choices, or were they decisions already shaped long before you knew you were deciding? The illusion of choice is one of the most subtle tricks. The world offers us many options, but most are just variations of the same story. And while we believe we're exercising free will, we're only moving inside invisible borders. Practical pause. Think of 3 decisions you've made recently. Trace them back. Ask yourself, did this choice come from my essence or from fear? When you ask honestly, you begin to tear the first page of that contract, and only then can you start to write your own story. 2. The trick of the distorted lens. There is a phrase that almost sounds like provocation. You don't see the world as it is. You see the world as you are. Quantum physics confirms the act of observation is not neutral. At the subatomic level, the observer changes the behavior of particles. Reality is not a finished film waiting to be watched. It is a field of possibilities filtered through your own consciousness. That filter is your lens, built from memories, beliefs, traumas, and emotions. And this lens is not transparent. It distorts, it colors, it selects. And looking through it, you swear you're seeing the real world. Even your brain participates in the distortion. Dopamine, the neurotransmitter of pleasure and reward, influences not only how you feel, but what you see. To maintain coherence, the brain edits reality. It deletes details. It emphasizes others. And it tells a story that sustains what you already believe. The danger? You begin to live reacting to reflections, not to reality. Like trying to clean a stain on the mirror by washing your own face. 3-step method to clear the lens. Recognize. What am I assuming as truth right now? Question, is this fact or just interpretation? Reframe. Look for another angle, even if your mind resists. Do this often enough, and something extraordinary happens. Your lens loses power over you. And suddenly, life reveals colors and nuances you never allowed yourself to see. 3. The golden prison of this is normal. There is a prison with no walls, no guards. It is built of repetition, habit, and one sentence, this is normal. Your brain, designed for survival, saves energy by turning behaviors into routines. But what once ensured survival now traps you in autopilot. Wake up. Take the same route. See the same people. Think the same thoughts. Days pass, identical, one after the other. And slowly you stop asking, is this truly my life? Or is this just inertia? The brain adapts so well that even discomfort disappears, like a constant hum in the background, present but ignored. Warning signs of the golden prison, days that feel like carbon copies. Enthusiasm slowly fading. Nothing wrong, but nothing special either. Take Anna, for example. For 20 years, her mornings never changed. Wake up, coffee, news, work. Until one day, she replaced the news with 10 minutes of silence by the window. That small act sparked a cascade. New choices, new routes, new friends. A year later, her life was unrecognizable. What feels normal may not be natural to your soul, and sometimes the prison is comfortable. That's why it's so hard to leave. 4. The most seductive lie, you are only this. Among all illusions, one is the most convincing and dangerous, believing you are only the roles you play. A son, a mother, a job title, a religion, a city. That's like defining the ocean by the cup that holds it. Psychology shows us fixed identity edits out possibility. If you believe you're shy, you avoid chances to expand. If you say, I'm not creative, you dismiss ideas that prove otherwise. Your brain does this not to sabotage you, but to preserve stability. Spirituality reminds us, identity is not essence. What you are is pure consciousness, infinite, manifesting in countless forms. Try this shift. Instead of asking, who am I? Ask, what am I being right now? This opens doors. Today patient, tomorrow impatient, bold in one moment, cautious in another. None of these define you. But beware of false humility, dismissing your light, avoiding recognition. It may look like modesty, but often it's fear. And when you believe the lie that you are only this, you shrink. You deny the universe the chance to express through you, and the universe responds only to what you believe you deserve. 5. When reality is only an imperfect translation. Have you ever felt there was more happening, a hidden whisper behind events, yet you couldn't put it into words? Science agrees, reality is only a fraction of information. Your brain receives 11 million bits per second, but processes only about 40. Almost everything is filtered out. The brain is not just a processor, it is a translator. It translates vibrations into images, sounds, and sensations, but always simplified, distorted. Edited for survival, not for truth. Even memory deceives. Each recollection is a reconstruction. Every time you recall an event, you rewrite it slightly. And over time, you live more in the story you tell yourself than in what actually happened. Exercise to dissolve limiting stories. Choose one meaningful event. Now revisit it 3 ways: as you lived it, as the other person may have lived it, as a neutral observer would describe it. You'll see, none are pure truth, all are translations. And realizing this gives you freedom. Freedom to tell new stories about your past, and freedom to open new possibilities for your future. 6. The silent conspiracy of scarcity. Scarcity whispers, it won't be enough. Money, time, love, recognition. The reptilian brain, built for survival, constantly scans for threat. Even in abundance, it searches for lack. That's why so many, even with safety, live anxious and tense. Scarcity is not external, it is internal, a state of constant vigilance. But there are other stories too. In one small community, people abandoned the old model of trade. No contracts, no fixed prices. Each gave what they could. Each received what they needed, and what looked like utopia soon became abundance. Not because magic resources appeared, but because mindsets changed. Here's something counterintuitive you can try now. Instead of raising your goals, more money, more productivity, more achievements, lower them just for a while. Feel what it's like to rest in the present moment, to know right here, right now. There is enough. Studies in positive psychology confirm this reduces anxiety, and paradoxically, it creates the space for even more opportunities to flow naturally. When you stop vibrating in lack, the universe stops responding with lack. Scarcity reveals itself as what it always was, a story told so many times. You believed it. 7. When life is a lucid dream, there is a moment in lucid dreaming when you suddenly realize, I am dreaming. Everything changes, colors become vivid, sensations intense, and you understand you can choose the story. Awakened life is not so different. The greatest trick of the illusion is to make you forget that in some way you're inside a collective dream, a storyline shared by all. Most people react automatically, never realizing they are co-creating it. What determines the quality of this dream? Your attention. Attention is the most valuable spiritual currency you have. Where it goes, energy goes, and where energy goes, reality follows. But daily life steals attention, worries, notifications, endless tasks. You forget you are the author. Daily practice to wake up in your own dream. Take 30-second pauses. Ask, if I were dreaming right now, what would I do differently? This question breaks the script. It sparks presence. Do it often enough. And one day, in the middle of a difficult moment, you'll notice, instead of reacting, you choose consciously. And when that happens, the dream begins to change. Because here is the truth. You were never truly trapped. The door was always open. You only needed to remember you could walk through it. The great lie undone. If you've come this far, you already know. The lie is not only what was told to you, it is also the story you tell yourself. Day after day. The invisible contract, the distorted lens, the prison of normal, the limited identity, the imperfect translation of reality, the scarcity mindset, the forgetting that you are dreaming. Each of these is a veil, and awakening is not tearing them all away at once, but recognizing them one by one, until vision becomes clear again. Science and spirituality agree on one thing. Reality is not fixed. It is shaped, moment by moment, by how you see, interpret, and respond. So my invitation is simple. Choose just one of these 7 points. Practice the reflection or exercise today. Do not try to change everything at once. One conscious choice, repeated with presence, is enough to reprogram your mind. Remember, you are not bound to the script you were handed. You are the author, the director, and at the same time, the character. And the more conscious you become of this truth, the freer you are to create the life you truly wish to live. So let me ask you, if your life were a lucid dream, what would you choose to create starting today? Leave your answer in the comments, because your words may awaken someone still asleep. And if this video touched something deep within you, like, share, and subscribe. The more people begin to question, the more veils will be lifted, and the closer we will be to living a dream worth dreaming.